Hey everybody, long time no see since the last weird news report. I thought that I would want to cover everything that's happened in the last month and a half since the last report. And in doing so, I kind of created a serious news report or a sad news report. It's not my fault. I don't control the news. I just report it. But I think the goal is just to remind you of everything that's happened in the past month and a half, because a lot has happened. Did you know that? I'm sure you may have. Let's go on to our first story. Oh, do you remember this happening? The FDA approving the first COVID-19 vaccine a few weeks ago. Very big news. You had those people that were saying oh, I'm not going to take the vaccine because it's not FDA approved. So we'll see how many more people are going to get vaccinated now. Although I did read this article a few weeks ago that said the share of U.S. adults willing to get vaccinated ticks up. A new poll finds it dropped 5 percentage points from late July to late August. In July, 24% of respondents were saying that they were not going to get vaccinated. Now, at the end of August, it was only 19%. Hey, that's good news. Hey, we found some good news. That is an achievement, I think, because people are tired of this crap happening. Yeah, let's move on to our next story. Remember this happening? This was just a few days ago. Biden laying out his plan to mandate vaccines for if you're a federal worker or a federal contractor, all your workers have to be vaccinated. If you're a federal worker or a federal contractor, or if you work at a company with more than 100 employees, you either have to be vaccinated or have to get a test once a week, a COVID test, not just a random test. Yeah, that's a good joke that I made right there. Pretty sure you've heard of this. Can you really call it a mandate if you get a choice not to get vaccinated? That's what I'm kind of thinking. I don't know. I'm sure you're familiar with this, though, so let's move on. Did you know Congress is exempt from Biden's COVID vaccine mandate? That's kind of strange, right? But apparently Biden just doesn't have authority over Congress. Apparently the president only can control the executive branch of government and can't tell the legislative branch what to do, so Congress can make its own rules about vaccine requirements. Apparently, Nancy Pelosi, oh boy, said that there will not be vaccine requirements for members of Congress and their staff. Apparently, I think this article said 20% of congressmen are not vaccinated, which I find strange. House Republicans, it says it's likely even higher than 81% that are not vaccinated. I'm confused. What is happening? I don't know. I didn't read the articles beforehand. I think that's what we're finding out now. Let's just move on because I'm scared. This is fun. Washington jail. What jail was it? The Benton County Jail in Kennewick, offering ramen noodles as an incentive for COVID-19 vaccine. That's fun. 10 packs of ramen for a vaccine. That's a pretty good deal in my opinion. Apparently they've given out 900 packs of ramen. Quick math, that's 90 inmates. It also says right here. That's a pretty good deal. I didn't get 10 packs of ramen when I was vaccinated, but you know what? That's okay. Imagine if that was the incentive for everybody was just normal people. That would be pretty lame. I guess if you're a prisoner, ramen's a big deal. That's sad. Let's move on to our next story. Oh boy. This is just sad also. I don't even know if I want to do this because it's so sad. There's this teen that was speaking at a school board meeting when people were laughing because of a story about his dead grandmother.
I want to give them COVID. This time last year, my grandmother, who was a former teacher at the Rutherford County School System, died of COVID because someone wasn't wearing a mask. This is a very
Okay, that's enough. That's enough of that. That's very sad, isn't it? It's very ironic, right? That this woman right here is holding a sign that says "Let our kids smile," but is also laughing at a kid's dead grandmother. Do you think you've done your goal there of letting kids smile by laughing at a kid's dead grandmother? This is so sad. But now I'm sad and you're sad, so we can be sad together. Yay! Oh boy. Yep, this has happened. Another thing that happened. Livestock dewormer. Poison control spikes as people take livestock dewormer to treat COVID-19. Boy, that took a long time to say. Yeah, so I believe that it's being tested right now. It's being studied right now, ivermectin, whether it can be treated against COVID-19. I think they have not found any evidence in support of the idea that ivermectin can prevent COVID-19 or treat COVID-19. But it might still being tested, I'm not sure. But apparently few people have taken the liberty of going ahead and taking ivermectin before it is approved. Ivermectin is, did you know, a livestock dewormer. Yeah, anyways, and apparently there are human versions of ivermectin, but did you know that if a human takes a livestock version, that is harmful? Did you know that? Wow, that's a big surprise. Inhaling onion fumes does not kill COVID-19, experts say. There's a Facebook misinformation, you could say, post about COVID-19 infections that have apparently been shared 23,000 times, that you can kill COVID-19 by eating onions or inhaling their fumes. I don't know. I might just do this anyways, even though it's not effective. This looks like a blast. Look at all these pals chumming it out, laughing, eating their onions. I don't know. Very stupid. Let's go on to our next story. Finally, we've stopped talking about the stupid COVID things. And now, the thing that I want to talk about, wow, is Afghanistan. That's cheerful. Yeah, did you know the Taliban took over Afghanistan just a few days after the United States began their withdrawal? That's pretty weird. We spent 20 years trying to set up this government that fails in just a few days. That's kind of weird. It seems like it's been a waste of time and money and human lives, this war has been. Oh well, a few weeks later this article came out. All troops are out of Afghanistan, August 30th, I guess, ending the longest war in American history. Yay, I guess. That's good. Did you know that there's also an evacuation from Afghanistan? Apparently 122,000 people were airlifted abroad. 82,000 people from the airport you're all hearing about. Pretty cool. Oh, to the real important stories, and that is after the Taliban took over Kabul, a day after, the Taliban was enjoying an amusement park. Wow, that's fun. You know what? Look at these people chumming it out and just enjoying. Look at these Taliban members all having a bit of fun. Wow, isn't this is kind of wholesome, actually. If there's one thing I like to see, it's the Taliban happy and having fun. Oh no, and here is them on a bunch of horses. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Okay, I'm sure our next story is not going to be a downer at all. Taliban militants have burned down an amusement park a day after they were enjoying the rides. Come on, guys. You've just ruined my one feel-good story. Oh my God, look at this. Apparently there was what was it? Oh my God, it's cool. Okay. They burned down the amusement park because there were statues and idols inside which were against Islam. Well, you didn't have to burn down the whole thing. You could have just taken down the statues, couldn't have? Couldn't have you? You're this is so sad. Way to ruin everything. Oh, the Taliban ruins everything. That's what I'm gonna say. Oh, look at this. This is a nice story. Taliban pledges to respect women's rights. Ignore that last part. That's the good news. That's the good news. The Taliban pledged to protect the rights of women. I don't even need to read the rest of it because that's such good news. Uh-oh, this was just from a few days ago. Apparently, women are banned from playing sports. And they can get educated. They just have to be away from the men. The women have to be segregated from the men. Very, 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 very strange. And this is an interesting story. I haven't ever heard it spelled that way before. Urges women to stay home because fighters have not been trained to respect them. If you read the article, when the Taliban were last empowered, Afghan women were generally not allowed to even leave their homes except in like narrowly defined conditions. That's what this article says. But, this time it'll be different. This time it'll be different, I'm sure. Although, for a temporary period, right, we just have to relax because apparently the militants have not been trained to not hurt women. The Taliban spokesman has explained. So that's why women should stay at home for temporary purposes, I'm sure. Oh boy. Well, I'm sure everything will work out for the women. Okay, that's good. Oh boy, Palestine, Taliban bans all protests. Don't have its approval. So you do have the freedom to protest as long as we approve of that protest. Wow, I do appreciate the Taliban bringing so much freedom to its citizens. Oh my God, what's this? Military overlooked sexual abuse by Afghan allies, investigation said. Oh, what do you mean? What do you mean one of our US-backed Afghan militia leaders, one of our allies, had been spending his wages on child sex slaves and even kept a young boy chained to his bed as a sex slave? What are you talking about? The United States rule over Afghanistan was better than the Taliban, right? What do you mean? I'm sure that this is just nonsense. What are you talking about? I'm sure that there's ample, I don't know what I'm saying. Yeah, this is pretty bad. Did you know that the US was allied with warlords who had child sex slaves in Afghanistan? Yeah, that's not great. But I'm sure that there's no more atrocities that the United States committed in Afghanistan. Oh boy, what's this? The Bagram torture and prisoner abuse? And there's, oh boy, the United States Army murdered 2 unarmed civilian Afghan prisoners. Oh boy, and they were chained to the ceiling and beaten, resulting in their deaths. And the trauma was comparable to being run over by a bus. Okay, that's just 2 prisoners, right? I'm sure that the rule under the US was still way better than the Taliban, and that there was no more atrocities. What's this? The Kandahar massacre? I can't even pronounce it. Early hours of March 11th, 2020, when they murdered 16 civilians, and wounded 6 others. The United States murdered 16 civilians and wounded 6 others. Yeah, that's not so great. Okay, the Wayland District murders. Oh, give me a break. Well, I'm sure that these are the last atrocities that America produced. No. Well, I'm sure these is the last atrocities. Oh my God. Okay. Well, let's just move on from that. Obviously, it's a shame that the United States is pulling from pulling out from Afghanistan because the Taliban is going to be so much worse than the United States. If anyone's going to commit atrocities in Afghanistan, it better be the United States. That's my opinion. Anyways, I don't know. There was a point somewhere in there, but I'm not sure if you could tell with all my rambling. Landlord faces homelessness as tenants fall behind on rent during eviction ban. That is so sad. She owns 3 properties in upstate New York. But even that's, you know what? This is completely new territory when the landlords are facing eviction themselves. That's how the tables turn. Anyways, let's move on to our next story. I'm sure there's like a moral in there somewhere, like there's opinions that you could have or something. I don't know. I'm just kind of tired, so I just want to move on to our next story. Did you hear about this? Texas banned abortion. But luckily, Greg Abbott, the mayor of Texas, is that the mayor of Texas? Yes, Greg Abbott. I don't know. Has said that, I do support the women's right to choose not to get vaccinated. Something clearly a lot of women care about. Wow, Governor Abbott really cares about the bodily autonomy of women and really supports women. That's good of him. Oh my God. You don't even need to worry about cases of rape because Texas is not going to have any rapists anymore. That's what they're saying. They have 6. Victims have 6 weeks to get they do have 6 weeks to get an abortion. So yeah, that's enough time. I don't know. I'm just tired at this point. This is fun. Why Satanists be the last hope to take down Texas abortions. But okay, stop. The Satanists, which is a religious group apparently that doesn't believe in Satan, which is surprising. They don't actually believe in Satan. But anyways, they're arguing based off of religious beliefs that they should be granted access to abortion pills without regulatory actions. I'm kind of curious if this is going to work. Well, this is quite a while ago. I'm not sure where they're at right now. Good job, guys. It's not really taking down Texas abortions bill as getting around it so much. I wonder if they'll be able to get around the bill. Yeah. Hurricane Ida. That's a thing that happened. Destructive for Hurricane Atlantic. Yeah, second most damaging and intense hurricane to strike the state of Louisiana on record, behind Hurricane Katrina. Costed $50.1 billion in damages and $100 million damages to Cuba. Hey, at least we're beating Cuba. Oh wait, no, it's $100 million in Cuba. It's $50 billion in the United States. Well, anyways, good for Cuba, I guess. Did you know? This is what from before Hurricane Ida, the Waffle House Index. Have you ever heard of it? It's a index of how severe a storm will be based off of if the Waffle Houses have closed down. If the Waffle Houses have closed down, this is going to be a really big storm, I think, a really major storm. And the Waffle Houses were closed down, I believe. Yeah. 5 Waffle House locations have closed down in southern Louisiana, according to the company's websites. That's pretty. If the Wikipedia article didn't give you the scale of this, $50 billion in damages. 5 Waffle Houses were closed because of the storm. Now this is some pretty serious stuff. This storm. Oh my God. 2 weeks. This is just from a few days ago. 2 weeks after Hurricane Ida, tens of thousands in Louisiana are still without power. That's sad. I'm sure there's something to say about we need to improve the response to hurricanes or something, or like this is climate change, or like it's making the storms where I don't know. At this point, I don't even care. I just want to get through this. At least 28 killed in the Lebanon fuel tank explosion. This happened just a few weeks ago. How many explosions are going to happen in Lebanon? Apparently there's a massive fuel shortage. Black marketeers are flooding into the country, handing out gasoline to residents. And it's not clear what happened. But anyways, the fuel tank exploded, left 28 people dead and 79 injured. Not great. And it's not clear what happened, but people are blaming the government. It probably is the government's fault in some capacity. I mean, there is a massive fuel shortage, which is probably tied to government corruption in the Lebanon. I don't even care. Let's move on. Zambia election. I anticipated pronunciation being an issue, so I have it on this thing.
Haikande Hichilema. Haikande Hichilema.
Haikande Hichilema. Okay. Haikande Hichilema beat President Edgar Lungu, which is a pretty big deal. And this is interesting, I promise you. There's one paragraph that really stood out to me. In speech on national TV, Lungu, the former president, said he was committed to a smooth transfer of power, which is expected the coming days. However, he repeated his claims that the elections were not free and fair. I wonder where I've heard that before. Oh my god, I'm so tired of this crap. So much bad news. How much more bad news can I even take? Gunmen kidnapped 73 students in the latest attack on Nigeria school. This is pretty horrific because I believe there were girls as young as just children as young as 4 that were taken into the remote forest by gunmen and held for 3 months without their parents. And one of the children died, which is not good. Apparently kidnapping in Nigeria is not that uncommon, where they're held hostage. That's pretty scary, but at least I don't live in Nigeria. 7 people, oh my god, at a university were victims of attempted poisoning. That's a little frightening. 7 people, employees and students. Apparently, they suspect it was a deliberate attack or like a deliberate attempted murder. Usually, that's what attempted mean is deliberate. So that was a bit redundant. People say that milk curtains and water containers in one of the buildings on campus appear to have been contaminated with a harmful substance. I guess they don't know what substance it was, but they do know that 7 students were not doing so well and had to be, I think 6 had to be hospitalized. 1 was in relatively seriously, affected relatively seriously, but no one died. But that's scary. I'll think about that a lot, being in university myself. Oh my god, we've reached the end. And excuse me, my camera's dying and we've done it, everyone. We've gone through all the news. I'm sure I've missed some of it. This has gone on way longer than I've expected it to. But that's okay. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you sometime. Next time, I promise it'll be an actual weird news report that's a lot happier and not sad at all.